The Aloha Hour with Johny and Dewey.
All right, we're here today on our Thanksgiving special. And before we're going to start and introduce the one and only, want to give to the one and only, to the queen, a crown that was made by our good friend Gina from Lay Mindful, Eco Mindful Lay on Instagram. Check her out. She made all of that by herself.
Beautiful.
And this is absolutely amazing.
Oh
this
my
is for
gosh,
you.
thank you so much. I'm going to wear it on stage tonight.
Absolutely.
This is awesome.
And while we at it, she also made a beautiful gift for your good friend, because we know that you're going to perform for her tonight.
What?
So many surprises.
This
For
is,
Paula.
Yeah, for Paula. She
yes.
made a beautiful lei for Paula.
Oh, she's gonna
thank
love
you,
it.
Gina. Check her out on IG. Eco Mindful Lei. Check
Love
it out.
you, Gina. Thank
Paula's
you.
going to love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Gina.
All right.
All right. Welcome.
Welcome.
Let's
Thank
do the
you.
intro, Jonathan.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, so I'm super excited, and I might gonna stutter.
Yeah.
But
I think you and I both are.
let me try to introduce. She has performed and toured with artists such as Soja, Fiji, Kimie, Jack Johnson, Taj Mahal, Jake Shimabukuro, Ziggy Marley. She opened for Bruno Mars and many others. She won several Na Hoku Hanohano awards for Most Promising Artist, Contemporary Album of the Year, as well as Female Vocalist of the Year. In addition, she was named as one of Honolulu Magazine's 25 Greatest Hawaii Album of the Century.
Yo!
And Best Solo Female Artist at the Island Music Awards. She is Anuhea Jenkins.
Yo! Welcome home.
Thank you. All these accolades you're listing, I'm like blushing. Thank you.
It's always good, right? It's always good to receive love. You deserve it.
Aw.
You give quite a bit out to the world. It's our turn to give back to you in the next hour.
Thank you, guys. I feel special.
You are special.
Stop. Okay. Very cool. Thank you, guys.
So we want to hear about you and your story. And before we're going to start, we have here some mimosas. Let's
cheers.
raise
Let's
a
have a
toast
toast.
for everybody. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We love you guys. Spread the aloha, not germs.
All right.
All right.
Cheers. Thank you, Jonathan, for the yummy
Too
orange juice.
good. So good.
Ooh, that's good.
All right. So born here or in Maui?
Born on Maui.
Maui. And grew up over there?
Yeah, I went to elementary school there, but started boarding at Kamehameha schools on this island since I was 11 years old.
Wow.
So I'm like independent little girl by myself, no parents, 11. I read.
How?
Kamehameha schools is a boarding school. I'm like fourth generation Kamehameha. Like my dad went there, grandma went there, great grandparents went there, and the boarding program is very developed. It's like a great way to teach kids like independence, how to do their laundry, how to make their bed every morning. So my dad really wanted me to board there as opposed to being a day student where you just show up. So we lived on Maui. It was perfect. I got in 7th grade. I'm a little young for my grade, so I happened to be just 11. I was like the youngest one there.
Smart you.
I think it's too young. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to send my kid
Yeah.
away at that young. Like I definitely think it was too early. I needed my mommy and daddy a little bit longer.
So do you think you're going to send your Kana to Kamehameha?
I definitely
Yeah.
want to, but like 9th grade.
Ninth
I think
grade,
that's
okay.
a happy
Freshman.
age.
Yeah.
And he'll have like cousins who are around his age. I was like by myself. I had nobody, and I was like a haole girl, so I felt very,
Get out.
very alone.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting deep already.
Wait,
know.
a haole girl, but you speak Hawaiian, don't you?
Yeah.
Fluently.
I mean, I'm rusty now, but
Yeah.
yes, I went to a Hawaiian immersion elementary school. So from kindergarten, every single subject you talk in only Hawaiian. So you learn math in Hawaiian. You don't take English classes until you're in 5th grade. So like there are pros and cons to that, I think. Like kids don't know how to read R's and stuff, and essays like TH. Nope, can't do it until you're in 5th grade. But I was in and out. My parents put me in, took me out, put me in, took me out. So I kind of got the best of it all.
I just want everybody to know, and all our audience to know, I was lucky enough to take my family yesterday to see her show at the sold out show at Blue Note, and she was singing True Colors with Hawaiian And the whole crowd was crying. There was the waiters were crying, the bartender, everybody was. We just wanted to hold hands. It was an amazing feeling. There was
that song is
electrifying.
special. I love that song. I'm so happy that we're able to translate it into Hawaiian. That's me and my son's like jam.
I know. I saw the video and I was sitting there and I'm going, that is like, I mean, it was just like, you know, Cyndi Lauper, right? And then she goes to Hawaii and I'm sitting there and that video is all about you. It kind of was so touching. It was so beautiful.
Oh, I
man.
love my baby. He's my little baby.
So back to you before the baby.
Okay.
I want to hear about the grind. I want to hear about the hustle. Because, you know, a lot of, during our research that we did, we saw that you were really grinding. You were working, you were doing, you know, working many jobs, then doing this, performing, waiting.
Yeah.
Tell me about the struggle. Don't tell me about the fame.
You know what? I'm more proud of this part than the stuff you listed in your intro. Like, I definitely am proud that I worked my way to where I am in this position because, I don't know. Yep. I started recording myself on like a little laptop computer that I saved up money for by waiting tables. And that's just right when like MySpace came out. So you could like put your songs on MySpace.
Wow.
So I like made my stuff on GarageBand, a couple songs. Then YouTube also followed. And so that's kind of how I first started. I made myself a little demo CD because at a public access radio station on Maui called Mana'o Radio, they would like let me take over for maybe an hour. So I would just jam in there with Vince Esquire, my friend, and we take the recordings, splice it up into tracks. And that was like my first little demo CD, or like my first little CD. I'd sell it like my coffee shop gigs. I like would design my own little cover on my, I liked all the aspects of it. Like, it's not just the music, it's like the art part of it, the hustle of like, yo, you want my CD? Like, I liked all that. The web design, the video part, I just loved it all. And then I ended up meeting my manager, and the rest is history. I guess we can get there when we get there.
No, but
Hold on. I know there was so much juice in between.
I want to know
it.
one thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to know many, but just explain to me. Does it really work? Like when you burn your own CDs? Like I remember back in the day, right? There were so many rappers and artists, and they were just recording themselves on CDs or cassettes back in the day, and handing them out, you know, on gigs or on party. Does it really work? Like people take it home, they put it, they connect to the voice, then they want to know more.
I sure hope so. I think it was probably interesting to see like a girl. Like, what is this girl about? And I think Kobe Kaile was really popular at that time. Like, she had come out with like bubbly, I don't know if, and she had that Hawaii vibe. So people kind of were comparing me to her. I loved Jack Johnson. He was like my number one favorite of all time. And he was very popular at the time too. So when you're like, oh, what kind of music do you play? Oh, kind of like Kobe Kaile, Jack Johnson-y. Oh, cool, I'll take a listen. Like, that was like the little shoe into, and then you see a girl with an acoustic guitar. It's just like an interesting thing.
Wow.
And yeah, I see people would support. They wanted to support a local artist doing her thing too. So yeah, I would sell my little CDs. People still, a couple fans said they still have it. Like, I mean, I don't even have that shit. I want one.
How old were you when this happened? Like, were you
20?
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did music begin to like bleed in your vein? At what age you begin to go, oh my God, this thing is like beginning to like emerging out of me?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so interesting because I don't even feel like a musician. That's that weird. Like,
What?
I love music, but I'm not a musician. I don't know. I'm just like a hustler who has a bunch of different passions. That's what I look at myself as. But because I never was trained in music, I never took any violin lessons. I never took any formal training. I liked being on stage, like in musicals and plays. That was like more my thing. I did like children's plays, singing and dancing all cheesy. Like, that's my jam, being funny. And then in high school, I got into video production. Jackass was very popular.
Yeah.
We were like the female Jackass, me and my friends in high school. We'd roll around in shopping carts at Ala Moana and like fall over in front of people and get it all on film. And we'd walk the strip in Waikiki and like pretend not to speak English and like try to talk to people and have it all on video. It's funny. I have those videos. But anyway.
Epic.
Yeah, one day Ikenna's going to sit there and watch all that. I go, Mom,
you're crazy.
you're crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, see, I mean, so all of that is what I'm trying to say. Like, my best friend Kimie in our, group of friends, like I mentioned, I went to the boarding school, so it's like more than just friends, because it's like sisters, because you live together, you're every waking second together, so we're very, very close. But in my little sisterhood, she was the singer, like she was the one with the good voice, and so I had my role. I was like the funny, crazy one. I was the camera girl, the one on the morning announcements for Kamehameha School's news. Like I was like the head anchor. I was the video club president. I wasn't the singer, and it took me separating, like when we went off to college, then I still like, oh, I like singing too, and then I found my identity, I guess. So yeah, it wasn't like a childhood thing.
You wrote all the songs and all the lyrics?
I mean, some. I have a lot of covers that I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love writing songs.
Are those from like just deep love or deep heartaches, or most of it, or?
Yeah. I like always say, I write in my Hello Kitty diary, like, cause legit I have a Hello Kitty diary that I used to write all my feelings in, and I would tap into those things when I would start writing my first songs, and it would help me feel better. Usually it was about like boys I had crushes on and stuff, like cutesy stuff, nothing too deep. But after I would go through like struggles, like I moved to San Francisco and it almost ate me alive, that damn city, but it made me so strong. But I wrote a few songs there too, just like I gotta just keep the faith, or let the universe make this happen. Like I have like a lot of songs with like the same message, like just keep on pushing, you know. And I think it's like a motivation for myself when I listen to it.
Do you think coming from Maui into San Francisco was like a big shock?
Oh, yes.
Or is it in general like a tough city where you gotta be a certain material?
San Francisco is like the freaking coolest city ever. I love it. I haven't spent enough time in New York, but I know probably it's like the New York of the West Coast, right? Like it's like, oh man, I just was so enamored by the city. I think I went there once with like my church group one summer when I was in 10th grade, and all we did was do like Fisherman's Wharf. That wasn't the reason I loved it. I loved it because it just was so artsy and cool, and I had gone to college in Orange County, and it was not my thing. Like girls would be driving around with like platinum blonde hair and like pink convertibles. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. This is really happening right now. Like freshman in college with like big fake titties. I'm like, I'm from Maui, like smoking weed, like with my guitar, like I don't know about this. And so I left after a year, and then
she went to Chapman. It's a private college out of Orange County.
So expensive too. I couldn't afford it. I was like the brokest fucking. I would ride my bike to go work at Marie Callender's down the road.
You did?
While like and then my roommate, like super gifted and privileged, like she had a car and she's like skinny from Idaho, like and I'm like, bye, I'll be at work selling pies.
But this is, I guess, what made you. I mean, you're a hustler, you're a go-getter, you do so many things simultaneously. I mean,
I can't stop, won't stop, yo.
Where's the drive coming from, Anuhea?
Being broke.
Huh? Really? But I have a feeling this drive happens early on, though. It was really like...
we're broke as kids. Yeah. My dad is a public school teacher. God bless his soul. He just retired last year.
Thank him for
32 years, and he just couldn't. I'm like, Dad, hang in there. Make it to 35. Nope, couldn't do it. He's fucking over it. But they don't make a lot of money. They deserve to, but they don't. But he was a great coach. He taught me hard work, dedication. Like my dad's whole thing is, you don't have to be the smartest, you don't have to be the fastest kid on the team or the best athlete. He'll put you in if you show up to practice. And sometimes other coaches are like, but the kid sucks. Be like, put the best kid in. Well, he was late for practice and he's not wearing the uniform properly, or da-da-da. Like my dad is like that, and I love that about him.
Beautiful. Yeah.
He rewards the hustle and stuff. But yeah, and then my mom was broke as well. So I wanted nice things and more for myself. That's, I think, really the biggest motivation. Yeah. That sounds messed up, yeah? Money is my motivation.
No, it's weird though.
But the security of it all.
Yeah.
I totally rate it. Your $2. You have $2, right? And can you tell which one's has more drive than the other? Or
right now they're competing, so both of them have a drive.
Oh, really? I have
how
two children,
old are
but they don't.
They have a year and a half,
difference.
So.
I saw his daughters.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Oh,
beautiful.
Gorgeous. Yeah,
You're fucked, dude.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know how to create drive in our children. One of them is driven, and the other one's kind of And I grew up like you, super poor, so like we're super driven just because poor sucks, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny. I don't know if it's a tough thing.
I'm thankful that we're poor.
Yeah.
It makes me look at how I treat my son, like, because he's an only child now. I'm doing well for myself, but he has a phone. He's 7, and I bought him a phone.
Oh my God, she
Mom,
said that.
Mom.
It was mostly because I didn't want him using mine. Mom, can I use your phone? I'm like, no, here, I'll just buy you your own. But he can't, I have limits and stuff. I make him earn it, but yeah, I'm just like, man, you don't even know how freaking lucky you are, you damn kid. My mom's like car would break down. She couldn't pick me up from school. I'd have to like walk home and then see my mom's car broken down on the side of the road. Sorry, honey, I just got. And this is before like you couldn't even cell phones, so she couldn't call my school. I think so many messed up stories like that. Wearing the same clothes to school multiple times in a week. Somebody calling me out for it. It's like embarrassing. I'm like, no, not my kid. I'm like, you gonna look fly, boy.
So do you really think you contribute your success and your drive into not wanting to be in a social economic status that you don't feel secured?
I think so. Especially home ownership in Hawaii. Like that's a huge thing that I think about every day. My dad doesn't own a home. His grandmother who was, blood quantum enough to apply for Hawaiian homes, like didn't, because my grandparents' mindset was like, we're privileged enough. That's for the Hawaiians who don't have, let's leave it to them. So she didn't like put her name on the list. And now like my dad is now suffering. It's too late. He'd be on a waiting list and it's just complicated. I don't know. So
he has you.
That's why I got to take care of him. I'm like, more pressure. Great. But no, my dad was just visiting with me and he's just, there's nothing. He's just sitting in Maui, like poor thing. Like he's not doing anything. COVID, he doesn't have a car. I got to take care of my dad. But that socioeconomic thing, like I just want to buy a house before it's all snatched up by all the other people moving here too. There's like an urgency for real. Like there's only so much land.
On Maui, or you're talking about here?
Anywhere really. I live in Kona and I love it. I do. Big Island is a little cheaper, and it's way more laid back. So I think I could imagine staying there, buying property there, living there. But yeah, I gotta get my shit together a little bit more.
Stop.
I can whisper and you can really hear me.
It's good.
So let me ask you a question. If you already touched that topic, how did Corona affected you and all the artists? Because when I look, the one sector that just got screwed bad is the artists that make us happy, and suddenly there's nonprofits for everything, but nobody takes care about the artists, and they cannot perform, and nobody cares. And I know
really
from
rough.
others, when you guys apply to the state, suddenly you have to come up with all kind of papers that you don't even have.
You can't get help unless you have a brick and mortar structure, right? It is so complicated and so difficult. Actually, I was just on an amazing Zoom call a few weeks ago. My best friend Kimie, who I mentioned was my roommate. She's just killing it. She's like a grown up. I admire that. I'm like, wow, you're a grown up now. Like I still don't feel like a grown up.
Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it.
But she's like on the Grammy board of a regional board member for the Grammys. She's on the HARA committee. Like she's killing it. So anyway, she's trying to make big changes in the music industry in Hawaii to help artists. And her and Amy Hanaiali'i, who's the president of HARA, Hawaii Academy of Recording Arts, they had on this Zoom call 50 different representatives from various venues, theaters, different musicians, and I was just listening because there are grants for artists out there, but we gotta petition to change the language and the stipulations. You shouldn't have to have an address if you're just a musician. You don't have to have a physical address to perform when you're a performer and you tour all the time. I make money on the road in California, but I don't get enough money from Hawaii because I don't know, it's so hard. I don't even talk about it. I'm getting a headache. But they're trying to help artists that way. It's been really rough. All of our shit got canceled. That was my main source of income, merchandise from the shows that I perform at. My band members are all freaking don't have any money either. But he's killing it over there. Shout out to Jason.
Hi, Jason, the
Hi,
sensation.
Jason.
So let's talk about, you're the artist, you are the main guy, but what about the band? The band are even further, they're fucked even more.
Yeah, unless you, well, okay. this is where I wish I freaking knew more so I could sound super smart right now. But everyone's figuring it out as we go along. Like, this is unprecedented. Like, this unemployment thing. Like, I've never had to file for unemployment. I've always been a hustler, but there's literally nothing. I mean, I'm still making masks and trying to do my best to sell merchandise on the internet, but like, yeah, my band members, if this was their only gig, like my other guy Jaden, he plays in Waikiki, that was his other gig with his wife, all canceled. You know, I think he can apply for like some sort of unemployment from the government to help him. Is that right, Jason?
It depends on how you're employed. A lot of musicians are self-employed, so they get 1099, which you have to go under the PUA form. And then
pandemic
luckily,
unemployment
I was
assistance.
Multiple, but most of my earnings was on a W-2 because I'm also been hired for a talent agency for the last 19 years.
So that was like security for you.
I actually do have a decent amount of passive income coming from the unemployment still.
See, so, if you didn't, he works for Tihat. I'm sorry, I don't want to. Yeah, Tiati. Yeah, and they take care of take care of the artists that they work with in a pandemic or an unemployment situation. You would get unemployment, but I'm not a company like that where I don't have employees, so I wasn't able to provide that for my band members. It just breaks my heart. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like they have my back all year, but then when it's a pandemic, I'm like, if I don't make money, you don't make money. Like, sad. I'm so sorry. I don't know what they're doing.
It's such a shitty situation because you want to take care of them, and they're your
family.
Yeah,
they're your family.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just counting on the fact that hopefully their wives are good at paperwork and can figure something out. Like Jaden's wife, she probably did some research and figured something out.
If Senator Ige or Governor Ige would have listened right now, what would have?
I'm scared.
What would you tell him?
I want a day. Can I have a day too?
Yeah. I don't care. We're gonna vote. You have your own day. Johnny and I are in.
No, I don't. Can you tell I'm like getting uncomfortable because like I don't know enough. Like, I'm not a grown up.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Politics I have my opinions. I just don't like to verbalize them. I find that just draws too many like lines in the sand. But I would say we need to figure out a way to take care of our musicians, because musicians are, like you said, they bring so much joy and happiness. But I think the people are already doing that. Like, they're trying their best to, donate or live stream or tip jar, but that's not enough. The government does need to figure out a way to help us too.
I want to tell the governor, when you think about Hawaii, the first thing you think about is a ukulele, a sunset, a rainbow, the ocean. All of that exists, but we need those people to hold the ukulele and make it play. Give them what they deserve. Give them what they deserve.
I mean, they just launched a program for fishermen. I'm hoping next is really a musician. I mean, music is almost like it's indigenous to all of us here. I mean, as we was growing up, music is everything. It's part of our culture so deep, right? And that's why you have so many musicians in Hawaii, and we all struggle, I mean, so many musicians come here, dream of making it one day, but yet every single day, without them, Waikiki would not have what it has, and every 100%. Other place in Hawaii. It's that 100%. Music that creates this beautiful connection with everyone that comes here.
I know.
Hopefully one day, though. I think emotionally, one day.
It's the bad thing is just, again, this pandemic is so unprecedented. But I feel I'm like, there's like a clique of the musicians that know how to work it, and then there's the ones who are me like la la la, it's not happening, I don't believe it, it's not happening, and I'm kind of just like sitting here like waiting for it to get better. Because I don't know what to do, and I feel I'm not the only musician who feels this way. So I want the musicians to help each other, share the information about the grants that you've discovered. I mean, make there be enough money to go around, and not let it go to waste. And
where do you go now at this space, like all that, and find joy and find state and positivity as an artist for you at this moment in time right now, in this really funky state that we're in?
Oh man, it's been a real emotional roller coaster. I just got married in February, so
congrats.
Thank God. Congratulations.
It was a super fun wedding. For sure. It was right before everything shut down. Jason was in my wedding. He was one of the groomsmen, but he's actually a bridesmaid, but he was on the boys' side.
I saw the dance. You did? Yeah, that was so fucking cool, man.
I know.
All the boys dressed so
They looked good.
In suits, and it was awesome.
It was a boys
awesome.
versus girls dance, and
Yeah,
the
it was
boys,
awesome.
the boys definitely won.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna say about that.
So you got married in February.
Yeah, how do you stay positive? How do
yeah.
you stay hopeful? How do you stay in this, in sweet spot to keep you going and be creative?
My kid, I don't know. It's been rough, but I don't know how to explain it. We have a nice house to ourselves. Jason was our roommate. He moved out, so we have like an extra room. That's been nice. I've converted that into like my full-on office/recording studio. So I have been somewhat recording, but mostly just being with my son every day has really been awesome because I've missed him so much. When I tour, I used to be gone every weekend, leaving on an airplane somewhere, and it was taking a toll on him, and I didn't want to believe that either, but I realized it has. So I'm so happy I got to just every day hang out with him. He's like my best little friend, and that keeps me going too. My husband started his own company in our garage. It's a gym. He's a personal trainer, so we've like converted our garage into an awesome gym. We found like weights on Craigslist and like refurbished them, soaked them in vinegar and spray painted them, made them look all cherry, and yeah, those kinds of like projects keep me going. I also started a new company with a couple of friends of mine. It's a wine night event in Kona. It's called Kona Wine Nights. So my partners, two of them are a couple, and they own a restaurant called The View, beautiful view in Keoho. It's at a golf course. And then another friend of ours who's like a wino, but he's a fireman who just loves wine. So
Wow,
it's
a
us
fireman
four.
that loves wine. That's romantic.
He's
Yeah, I
like
know.
trying to be a sommelier, so he's like in the firehouse, like learning about wine. But yeah, we just wanted to do something, and of course, music. I brought that to the table as well. So we are doing it. It's been 14 weeks. It's been a fun thing for Kona. We're all about the social distancing, all the COVID restrictions. We're abiding by, but it's picking up steam. People are hearing about us and stuff, and maybe they'll hear about it on this podcast. Come check us out. KonaWineNights.com.
Wait, so what do you think about the measurements that they're taking? I mean, yesterday when I came to the Blue Note, we had to have our, temperature checked and so on and so forth. You have to have the mask, but then once you have the waters on your table, you can technically take them down because you can drink, and then it justifies. And then you had an acrylic in front of you, But do you think it keeps people like they're hesitant to buy tickets?
I mean, yes, for sure. People are still scared, especially those at risk. Like my grandma likes to come to my Blue Note shows, but there's no way I would want her to come, even though the Blue Note is very safe. And but she's like 90.
Yeah.
It's just like you don't know.
Yeah.
But we can only do so much. Like we gotta just abide by the rules, but business has to keep going. Like please let us figure it out. But it's just so ironic. Like they're putting all these limits on venues and restaurants. I'm walking outside, there's freaking 50 people waiting in line outside Lululemon. You see like Black Friday sales at Pearl Ridge, people running into GameStop. I'm like, you guys are like this far apart.
This is messed up.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, right?
I don't understand why there's not even one mature adult that says, okay guys, that's not how it's done.
Right?
This is the rules. This cannot happen if you do this. If you do this, you got to do that.
Josh Green?
Yeah.
I mean, well, for real, I mean, I feel like he has the best head on his shoulders. I don't know if they just don't listen to him. I don't know, there's like a disconnect. I don't know if you guys like him or what, but
yeah.
It just seems like we need like a logical uncle or auntie. Just be like, this is stupid.
Yeah, exactly. We need an auntie to go like, oh, shut up. That's not how you do that. Right?
Yeah. It's not me though. I don't want to be that auntie.
Yeah, I think until they walk in our shoes, it's going to be hard for them to look at from our lens, right? So until they actually a musician or own a business, small business, struggling, so they can really feel what's it like on the everyday, the pressure that's coming on. And if you have a family, you got to stay positive with your children and your husband and your wife. It's not an easy process, because these gentlemen are still getting paid, their life goes on as normal, and the rest of the world, for all of us, it's not the same. And Hawaii, as tough as it is to live, I don't know. I think music brings so much joy. I mean, I know for sure without music, we will not be the same human we are today. And what you do is so freaking special, right? I walk in this afternoon, I saw him because I was last night. He just shook his head. Didn't say a whole lot, And that's just to tell you what you do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm a little awkward right now because I haven't talked this much in 9 months. I love the interaction.
Yeah.
The part where I get to meet and greet with the fans before and after, like that part is something that when you go to an Anuhea show, that's you'll always get to meet me. Like you'll always get to hang out with me. We do that on the mainland, coast to coast, and the people feel connected to Hawaii when they get a honi and aloha and a picture with me, and that's where I'm proud to represent where I come from and bring that aloha to the rest of the mainland and stuff. But now that I'm just at home, and even last night I couldn't go out and do that. It was, they wouldn't let you. You can't so it just feels weird. I'm like still like awkward. I'm like, oh my God, I just want to hug, but I don't know how to talk.
I just want
bizarre.
you to know that all the audience, we all felt the love, and you were able to transcend us to a different place after 9 months that we haven't been gathering, that we haven't been seeing each other. We weren't allowed to mingle, we weren't allowed to dance. But we
can't dance. Like, what is this? Like, Footloose?
But we were dancing in our chairs.
Yeah.
And we all felt your love and the good vibe. No acrylic can be thick enough to keep your love away. The whole place was.
That's a new song right there. That's a new song right there. That's so beautiful, man. That's cool.
And you know what? And here I get to my next question. Why don't we hear more lyrics about protests? Why everybody, back in the day, people were singing about a protest. They were singing about things that pain. Now I only hear pain about love. He broke my heart. You broke this. I broke his. Where are the people talking about the real, the true?
They're there. They're just not getting played on the radio, unfortunately. You know what I mean? It's not what people want to hear. I think that
how do you know?
It's uncomfortable. I mean, I want to hear it. I like that time, but it's not the popular subject matter for a radio song, a radio hit.
Well, obviously you will have to fine tune it in order for it to be accepted everywhere. But why not the people that already have the name and they will be on the radio and they have the foot in? Are not doing something, because we need those artists to take our words and put it in the radio so everybody can listen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's the Bob Marley, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, he instrumentally. I mean, to me, if one man that used music to change the world, I think he's the forefather.
Yeah, I absolutely. And it takes what's the word? Bravery. Yeah. You have to be brave in order to stand up behind I'm far from perfect. I have so much more growth I want to do as a musician. I mean, I shared with you, I don't feel like I am a musician. I'm just a creative person that's doing multiple things that I love, but I do understand that I have a platform. But I think right now, the only thing I'm capable of in my bravery is just to make people happy. Yeah. I just want to help make them happy by sharing my stories and help them know that they're not alone. Maybe someday I'll be brave enough to really take a stand behind some really crazy nuts statements and words. Sometimes it's like when you post something on your personal opinion, like on my Instagram, like I didn't want to eat cows, and I posted like, don't eat beef. That's how you can save the Amazon rainforest. They're clearing most of this out for cow pat. Like one thing I posted about my opinion. Yeah. You're an idiot, Anuhea. Yeah. I'm unfollowing you. I only like watching you because you help me escape. And then anytime you talk about politics, I hate when these artists try to get involved in politics. Like, stay in your lane. So it's like,
I hate those people that say stay in your lane. What? As an artist, I don't have an opinion?
No.
What do you mean?
But that like gets to me. I'm like, okay, maybe I should.
No, I totally understand you. I know why you and the other people don't do it, and I don't blame you. I blame the community, because the community, they want you to represent and sing those songs. But in the end, if it doesn't fit their narrative, they're gonna turn on you. So you're like, what the hell do I need that?
If you're not strong enough to stand behind it, I don't want to just say it and then be like, that's all. I'm just You have to be able to
you gotta
walk the walk too.
You gotta believe it.
I'm not quite ready for that just yet. When I feel passionately about something enough, like I was this close though when it was like the gun stuff, when the school shootings, breaking my heart. Like we were in Florida, in Miami for something, and it was like that Florida shooting where this guy just killed a bunch of kids. I don't know, and I sang a Beatles song. I just performed it. Imagine it was John Lennon actually, but just on my computer. But see, I wanted to write something like that. Like imagine where there's no violence, but I'm not gonna say like take away the guns. Like not literally, but I'm
Yeah.
just gonna sing a beautiful song with the intention, maybe the caption saying like, this song is dedicated to all the people who are suffering right now. Let's make a change. Teach your kids love. It starts from home. Like, that's kind of where my message is. Mother Teresa said, you want to change the world, go home and love your kids. Like, that's kind of where my stand is. I don't want to like change laws. I just want to like be a good mom and teach other people to love their kids.
But I think that's where it all began, though. I
Yeah.
think loving human don't go around and kill others or hurt others, right?
Something
and,
is
and I think
missing.
having a wonderful childhood where you're surrounded with love. Yeah, that's how you prevent all this stuff. I think you're right on.
Like,
and you know
from
what?
the source.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. I think that when you acknowledge the fact that I'm not really a musician, that's why you're so great, because this state of like pure honesty and humbleness is where all the creativity and I think that's what the audience is feeling from your music, from your song, you know.
I want them to think that they can do it too. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have like freak of nature talent that I was born with. I just like, I wanted to do it, so I did it.
Yeah.
You can do it too. Hey, whatever you want to do it.
And this is the show. I mean, this is all. I mean, Johny and I were thought, boy, this is an hour of somebody like you, like every kid in Hawaii who is a musician wanted to make it, you know. So here you are sitting here. I would like to know if you have an advice for young 20s, musician out there want to make it. What was some instrumental thing that you've gone through in your 20s to help you become the artist and really make you who you are today?
Yeah. Let's see. I think that building that strong foundation is the most important. Having gone through every single step of my success over the past 10 years, like being involved in every little thing. I used to think a bad way of it is I micromanaged too much. But I'm happy that I did, because now I know how hard it is to be a merch person. I know how hard it is to make that t-shirt, because I've made them before. So when I go and pay somebody to make it for me or to sell my merch, like, I know how much to pay them and I appreciate them that much. Musicians, like, I know how hard it is to lug a monitor around in your truck and go and set up your own sound at Tiki's Bar and Grill, like I used to every Thursday for a few years. So I respect the sound people enough that I know what they deserve and what they go through. So just knowing all of those aspects, I think gives me a strong foundation. The people around me like to work with me. I have a good reputation with others around me because I treat them well. I don't know, those kinds of connections, that aloha is very important for longevity in your music career, especially in Hawaii when everybody knows everybody. Don't act like a diva. People here,
And you also,
you're hard to work with.
You always promote your friends. Yesterday you had friends on stage, which you're exposing to a lot of people that they would have usually not been able to get such an exposure. I know tonight you're going to have another friend of yours, Paula.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was helped in many ways in my upswing too. Like Naleo Pilemehana is my auntie. She helped me open for Naleo in front of a few big crowds. That was big. Soja, took me under their wing. I got to go on some tour dates with them and do a song with them. The Green and we came up together, but Common Kings, like same thing. We all had each other's back, and all of those kinds of things go a long way. They're not forgotten. So I want to do that for others too.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I'm so in awe right now.
I'm like sick of my voice right now. I haven't talked this much in so long.
Actually, everything that you're saying is extremely valuable, and I think that our audience and the people that see you in a beautiful light today, and maybe a different light.
What do you think? You thought I was a bitch before?
No, but that is not where you come off at all, none whatsoever.
You didn't know I was this awkward? Yeah, I am. I'm like really awkward.
No, but you're so true to yourself, and you're so honest, and that for us, we say, honesty is the key, right? So if you're honest and you share with the crowd, honest, authentic, I
think audience feel that. I think music is one of those silent language that you connect deeply, and that's because the honesty, the transparency, the vulnerability is coming from you, and I see that today. You're like so. Every piece of you is so fucking genuine.
I drank too much coffee too. So I'm a little like,
That's why the mimosa is gonna calm you down a little.
I need another one.
So How was yesterday's show? How did you feel?
I felt it was freaking well. The night before was our first show back after 9 months of not really performing with the band. So it was like riding a bike though. Like all of us were just looking around like, oh my god, this feels so good. Like we're just like so happy to be jamming with each other again. And we missed each other, you know. It was like friends back on stage doing our thing. All the little like punches and little things that we took years to develop, like within our song, we like remembered them. Like, oh, remember we do that punch on the 2 right there? Like, oh yeah. So we're getting it down last night. Last night was like flowing better.
Yeah.
Tonight's gonna be even better. And then the next night, and then we're not gonna see each other again for months.
Oh, that's
So
not.
are you going back? Are you going back to Hilo?
Kona. Yeah, I'm going back on Sunday. I'm actually coming back to Oahu to have a little family staycation now that the hotels are opening up again. We got a room at the Disney hotel. It's my birthday, so I'm taking my family to the Disney hotel for my birthday. We're gonna go on some water slides.
Your son's gonna be in heaven. Your kid's gonna be in heaven.
He's so spoiled. He has like 10 stamps in his passport already, and he's 7. Like he's been to New Zealand, Australia, he's been to Tahiti. Freaking kid. I'm like, he's like, I miss going on an airplane, mommy. I'm like, you understand how ridiculous that sounds right now? I'm like, but he's blessed. He gets to come travel with me a lot.
Do you think something has changed in you once you had your first son, as far as your singing, your career goes?
Yeah, totally. I was definitely more wild and crazy. Still kind of am, but he kind of grounded me for sure. I want to be a great mom for him. Like I want him to respect and look up to me when he's older and say my mom's awesome. So I'm not gonna do anything to embarrass him. You know, like that's kind of where I live my life now. So yeah, he's I don't know. I'm trying to raise him right, and he's my everything.
I know you miss him a lot. That was hard for you to after being so close all during Corona, and now flying.
Yeah,
here
my first time away from him in 9 months too, and he was sad. He was crying when I left. I'm like, oh my god. I was like FaceTiming him this morning. I'm like, just come. Let's get you on a plane. You can do unaccompanied minor. Yeah, just come. He's like, oh, yeah. It just didn't make sense, but it was so awkward.
No, I mean. It's tough. I can definitely feel what you're feeling. Being away from the kids after being so close for so many months, it's like...
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Cute.
But you have 2 more shows, right? Or
2 more nights.
2 more nights, so 4 more shows.
4 more shows, yeah.
And you're up for it.
Yeah, my voice I'm a little worried about. Tonight is a live stream, so it's been sold out for so long that they open up the opportunity to stream the shows live from wherever you are in the world. So
wow.
Hawaii News Now is coming in with their amazing multi-camera angles and great lighting, excellent sound, and it's going to be able to be broadcasted. So like $20 tickets. So it's helping us too because we split the venue ticketing. That's how the artist gets paid, but there's only half capacity, so there's only so much money that we could make, unfortunately, and it's like not enough. So I'm so happy that they got it to be.
Can you tell the audience how do we actually dial in online? And
yeah, go to BlueNoteHawaii.com.
Okay.
And then you should see a picture of my Thanksgiving shows. Click it, and then they'll say live stream tickets here because everything's sold out. The only thing you can buy is the live stream, and then you should be able to purchase it. And then when you do, you have like 24 hours, I think, to watch it. So if it doesn't quite fit that exact time, you can watch it like the next morning. Put it up on your TV in the living room.
Nice.
Grab a mimosa. Grab a pina colada.
Leftover turkey. Leftover turkey.
Yeah.
That is so awesome that they're trying to reinvent themselves and giving another avenue to people.
Pivot.
That pivot.
I like that word.
I like that word. I like that word. What do you think about how to pivot, performances, singers? I mean, what do you think is the next for us?
I love event planning and what I'm doing with the Kona Wine Nights event. It's really kind of fulfilling all the little fun things I like about the music in the meantime. I don't like leaving my kid, but I like performing and meeting people and eating good food and traveling. So if I don't want to leave my kid, I can bring all that to one place. And I'm trying to incorporate that with Kona Wine Nights. But also like baby showers and small weddings. Like I have a dream of like owning a small property where we can have like small weddings, and I have like my decor, and I bring in musicians, and my husband will have his gym and over there, and then we can slip and slide down the hill, and I can see it all.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Manifest that shit.
That's right. It's gonna happen. 100%.
Do you think that we will ever get those glasses where you can see 3D and it's gonna feel like I'm in your show and you're gonna be
That
in
would
Kona,
be one. Yeah.
and I could be here, but I have those.
I know, but I
That's
hope that
next.
we don't have to. But no, that
Has to
would
be. Of
absolutely make total sense. Like, why? This is gonna
Yeah.
change everything. Actually,
Yeah.
you're right. We can't do concerts like big, freaking raging like Coachella kind, but you could buy like a glasses to help
Yeah.
you feel like you're there.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's gonna be sick.
Of all the places you travel, besides Hawaii, where do you think you can live? Of all the places you've been, you go, wow. You got there and you go, wow.
I really liked Aotearoa, New Zealand. We were in like the outskirt like cities, like Raglan. That's where Catch a Fire's from, like beachy town. I don't know. It reminds me of Hawaii, but it's just different because it's a different culture, and it's like everything's exciting. Like the pronunciation of street signs is like, oh, this is cool. It's like the same but different.
Yeah.
It's like a parallel universe to Hawaii. That would be kind of fun. I don't really like super cold, but San Francisco is super good fun to wear boots and stuff.
Yeah. How about food-wise? Other places like,
Ooh, right? Mexican food in San Francisco is so freaking good. But I love Chinese food. I love food. So much food. Give it to me. Love it. I was so excited to be on Oahu because you guys have Uber Eats.
yeah.
We don't have that. We can't even get Pizza Hut delivered to my house. Like, it's so back.
Oh, you live in
the day.
Kona.
We need Uber Eats. Somebody, come on. But yeah, I got Chinese food delivered to my room last night. The other night. That was amazing.
And we know you really love musubis, and you did a musubi song that was so sick. It was on like a radio.
KWXX Ho'olaulea.
Yeah.
30,000 people saw me singing about spam,
Oh my gosh.
and I'm not even sponsored.
Yeah.
I have not got a single can of spam for free.
What? Nobody reached out to you to
No.
use the footage?
Johnny, you know your
Nothing?
job. He's the king of marketing and promotion. You're gonna make that happen.
Oh, sorry.
Come
There's
on,
like a
Johnny.
spam jam in Waikiki. I'm like,
Yeah.
why don't you call me? Like, I have to I don't know who runs that, but freaking call me. But for real, I
Well,
don't eat spam
I know
that
the
much.
girls that sit on the board of the Spam Jam.
What?
Diane, Barbara. I mean,
Hello.
What's going on?
Hello.
You do?
Yeah, hello.
I always have a stand over there and I sell pineapples. I sell pineapple juice and pineapples.
Oh my gosh.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I don't know if it was just like availability conflict or maybe they just didn't know how much I love spam. So yeah, now that
No,
they
but
know.
that song specific was like insane and it went viral. I mean, people like.
Oh, did you see the one where I was pregnant and I had a giant spam musubi
Yeah,
that I made
yeah,
out
that
of a
one I'm
pillow?
talking
Okay,
about.
okay,
That
yeah.
one I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I was pregnant, like 8 months pregnant. I'm on stage and I'm like, oh, my cravings, is nuts when you're a pregnant lady. And I made a spam musubi out of like pillows and like black material and saran wrap. You got to get the, the plastic on the outside.
Yeah.
I'm like holding it up.
Yeah, it was like a big moose. Yeah,
The
that
big,
was
you have to go to, I think it's called Manabu on King Street for spam musubi. Have you been?
Okay. No.
You got to get there early at 6 in the morning. By 11, it's sold out.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to go.
That's how Matsuyama's in Kona, they have a sugar shoyu egg in their spam musubi. So it's like salty sweet addition. That is probably my favorite I've tasted so far. But I like a good old fashioned sit under the heat lamp, almost paper thin kind spam, like nasty.
7-Eleven, Ross.
7-Eleven. That's
It's
what I
got
really
the
like.
best spam. I swear. I swear.
Oh, it's so gross. I love it.
I always tell my kids, you can choose whatever you want, just not the spam.
You say no. What about
Johnny?
the chicken katsu musubi?
No.
Not the same.
I had musubi at my wedding, but there was a lot of people who don't eat meat, so we
Yeah.
had a fried tofu version, and it
Oh,
was
now
horrible
you're
though.
talking.
But there was no
What?
flavor. I'm like, you
Yeah.
should have soaked that
in
some
spam juice.
something. Yeah.
in spam juice. Yeah, can you open it? They have that juice.
Oh,
in
the
it.
Vienna
That's
sausage
perfect.
juice.
No.
Absolutely.
I know. But yeah, they blew it. So I had a bunch of leftover tofu spam musubis. I was like, nah, who wants this?
I have a silly question. When you were a young girl, back in Kimie, did you knew that the kind of life you're gonna have today? Did you always have that voice inside of you? Go, I'm gonna make it one day.
That's so funny that you
Yeah.
say that. Because yeah,
Isn't that weird?
it's so weird. Or
Yeah.
at least just the manifesting what you want. Like
Yeah. At what age you think that voice started coming on? And what do you think that voice coming from?
when I was like bullied and like had no friends in 7th grade, like it was a really, really hard time. Like and I would write in my Hello Kitty diary. Like girls can be mean, and it sounds so silly. Like I had no friends, but I used to have to like Kamehameha schools is all about, or when you're a boarder, like you're always together. with other kids. So if you don't have any, like I would sit down at a table and everybody would get up and leave to go to the other one, just because there wasn't enough seats for their clique. And sorry, they weren't like mean, but it was just I had no friends. Long story short, those times I would like dig deep within and be like, it's gonna be better. Like I'm gonna get out of this. I'm gonna be so popular someday. Not like F all these people, but just more like, it's okay, Anu, like hang in there. I want to cry because people say like you want to write a letter to your younger self. Like that's kind of what I wish or that's kind of how I felt. I felt like my older self was like having my back in those kind of rough times. And so what was the question?
The question was,
did you already always know?
You always knew, right? That little voice inside of you knew that one day you're going to materialize your true self.
Yeah. Well, okay, Jack Johnson, remember how I mentioned he's was my biggest idol? I like always like told myself I'm gonna open for Jack Johnson someday. Like, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'm gonna open for him. And then like just the randomest things would happen, and sure enough, I fucking did. Like I did. I was on Kokua Festival 2010. Like my dream came true. Like I snuck into his concert, didn't have tickets. He's on Maui. He's playing with Willie Nelson and Friends. It was like Willie Nelson and Friends concert. Knew Jack Johnson was gonna be there. I'm like 18, had no money, but I went to the Mac counter at Macy's and like I got my makeup done, not because I was trying to like seduce him, but I just wanted to feel confident. Like I'm gonna get into this concert. And so the girl, she's doing my makeup. I'm telling her, yeah, I really want to meet him. I want to open for him someday. I'm gonna give him my little demo CD. And that girl is still my friend till this day, and she talks about that story because she's just like, who is this little crazy girl who's gonna? But sure enough, I like saw the sound guy in the parking lot who I knew from another gig. I'm like, can I come in? And he let me. I'm sitting on the freaking like amp on stage with Jack Johnson right there, 18, with my little makeup done. I'm like, I fucking did it. And then sure enough, afterwards, I'm like, hi, I'm Anuhea. Like, my family's actually from North Shore because my dad is from North Shore, and so he knows like my grandpa through, or he like has heard of my grandma through like just kupunas out there on North Shore. Anyway, so I introduced myself, and he was super nice. I'm like, I don't have like, actually no, I didn't have a demo at the time. I was like, I don't have a demo CD or anything, but I really want to open for you someday. Is there how do you think I can? And he's like, super nice. He's like, well, do you know Art? Art is the guy who runs the Mac. I'm like, no. And he's like, yeah, why don't you talk to Art? We'll talk to Art. And then it's funny because now I have Art's number in my phone. Like I totally know Art. And I've done tons of shows at the Mac since then. I just kept that in mind, that little tidbit of like motivation. And dreams come true, kids.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing? That's what I always say. You be careful what you wish for. You're in that land with the wedding. You gotta be careful what you wish for. Life is funny that way. Yeah, and special for.
I don't want to lose that like believe in magicness that I had.
You still have it.
I get so discouraged
you still
sometimes.
Have it. You still have it.
I gotta dig deep. And my kid inspires me too. Like one day he wants to be a doctor, one day he wants to be an actor, one day he wants to be what do you want to be when you grow up? Every day it's something new. And I'm like, oh, God bless you. Like you have that sparkle. Don't lose that, don't lose that. I love that about him.
I would like to know if you got selected to go to Mars, and you get on Mars and you be gone for a while, and you got to write your son a little letter because you're not going to see him for 3 years. With 3 years in Mars time, it's like 30 years in Earth time. So by the time you come back, he's 37, right? What would you like? Well, I'd like to see what that letter looks like. What does that video look like from you to Ikena? Because you're not going to see him for 3 years, but you're going to set up music. In Mars, so you got to do this thing.
First of all, my mind is blown right now. That's like, wow, that sounds like a premise of an amazing movie. Honestly, I can't even fucking put myself there because I would never leave planet Earth. That's like honestly one of my absolute fears. It's like centipedes and like being like going off and drifting off in space. Like it's just I don't even want to go on a hot air balloon because I'm afraid it's gonna just keep going. So I can't even really. That question's tough for me to answer.
Okay, all right.
But I think if your point is trying to say like, what do I want to send to my kid? I guess it's the same kind of thing I would say to like my young self too. Like, I don't want to cry.
Cry. It's all right. No. It's okay.
No, not doing it. But no, just do what you want. Anything's possible.
You're so awesome, man.
All right. I know how busy you are,
Yeah.
and you have a lot of things to take care of, and you have 2 more shows today and another 2 tomorrow. So,
I'm dialing in online for sure, 100%. Our family will. My wife and I can have a little date on the couch with you.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yay.
for
Thank
sure,
you.
100%. I'm in.
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you.
we made you a little gift.
What?
What? We won an award. Anuhea. We're going to award her the Aloha Hour Best Pound for Pound Local Female Performer
Of the century.
of the century. We love you.
Oh my god! For real, this is freaking amazing.
Acceptance speech, please.
How
Acceptance
did you
speech.
make this? Where did you order this? I love it. I want to thank you guys for believing in me, treating me with so much aloha when I walked in. I can be very awkward sometimes, but you guys made me feel somewhat comfortable. And I just want to say thank you to all of my fans for having my back. I love you guys. Mahalo.
All right.
All right. And now, before we're going to let her go, we have 5 What Would You Rather questions. But before we're going to get to the 5 What Would You Rather questions, I have a little surprise to my friend Dewey over here. Dewey, it's Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And I really wanted to thank you for all your giving. And I know you love Gary Lopez.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to reopen your store,
Yeah.
Kikoa Collective.
Yeah.
And for everything you do for your community and for...
Oh, he's going to make me cry. Oh,
This is
oh my God.
Pipe Masters jersey signed by Gary Lopez, 1996.
You're a
Oh
great
my
gift
God. I you know,
Speech.
Yeah.
I know. It's so funny. I was an immigrant, you know, and I discovered surfing at age 16. And there's a poster in my room. After I read an article in Surf Magazine, Jerry Lopez and Peter McKay went to Indo, surfed G-Land for the first time. And that's when I go, you know what? I'm going to move to Hawaii as soon as I finish college. At age 22, I came here with a backpack. And Jerry Lopez always been like a hero of mine. And fuck, man, I thank you. This is the
I love you,
second,
brother.
the second biggest gift that you have bestowed upon me. And I love you, and I
brother.
thank you for... I'm going to
Happy
fucking
Thanksgiving.
cry.
Happy Thanksgiving,
thank you.
everyone. We're going to get to the 5 What Would You Rather questions. Let's have some fun before we leave.
Damn it, we didn't get him anything.
Our love, always.
Well, actually, no. I actually do have a present for you guys. Yeah.
All right.
Hold on, real quick.
Hang on,
I know
on.
we're running out of time.
I
But
know.
this is important. Okay.
I love she wear the, you know, Bulls jersey too.
Bulls jersey.
Yeah. Have you watched that documentary?
What?
The Last Dance with Michael Jordan.
Oh hell yeah! Oh yeah, my 2 brothers are named Michael and Jordan.
Oh, okay.
No way.
Duh.
Swear to God.
And your
My-
husband is
Jordan as well.
lucky
Anyway.
guy.
For you, for your daughters.
Oh, my God.
This is a collectible Anuhea Spam Musubi pin. You get one too, brother man.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Oh
That's
my
what's
Lord.
up.
I feel like Christmas. This is the
Almost.
best.
Almost.
I'm gonna put this on me now.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What would you rather? Give up your smartphone or give up your pet?
Oh my gosh. Okay, give up my smartphone. I love my little puppy.
What would you rather? Sing a duet with Brada Is or with Bob Marley?
Bob Marley.
What would you rather? Lose your voice forever or lose your memory?
Lose my voice. That sounds so messed up, but I told you I'm not a musician.
I'm so
I'll
sad
figure it
right
out.
now because like
Nah,
I
getting
don't
off
know
for-
if I like this answer. Like, stop it! Like, can you change your answer?
That's like a big fear. I'm like, I never want to lose
All
my
right.
memory.
What would you rather? Have 5 more kids in the next 5 years or 5 more hits in the next 5 years?
Hits. I know it's like doesn't make sense that I just said that.
Jack needs a friend.
Five kids? Like no.
What would you rather? Babysit a kid who hates your kid or go on a play date where you can't stand the mom?
Oh, play date where I can't stand the mom. I don't want to watch my kid suffer. I'd rather suffer.
Right on.
That's what alcohol's for.
And everybody becomes friends.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to our special Thanksgiving Black Friday. Thank you. We love you guys. We love you, Anuhea. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
Jason the
everything.
Sensation, Brett, Dewey.
Love you, Johnny. Thank you.
Love you guys.
All right.
Aloha.
Whee!